right. Good afternoon. This is Tanyag with Tanyag Company. Wanted to say hello. We're having another episode of Resilience. This is episode 3 with Ivory Morgan-Burton. So just want to give you a little update. Resilience 17 minutes of being resilient. I own Tanyag Company. I'm a MAPS business coach and a certified referral trainer. I'm the host. And the purpose of this is basically just being the light in today's business environment. So resilience is defined as a capability or capacity to recover from stressful life events, your ability to withstand adversity and bounce back and grow despite life's downturn. So today I'm going to introduce and welcome a good friend of mine I've known for years, and she's going to talk about how one local business owner is how she's been resilient. So Ivory, tell us a little bit about yourself and something no one knows about you.
Okay, Arnel. Hi. Thanks for having me with you on Resilient 17. I'm Ivory Morgan-Burton, founder and CEO of Storybook Events, a full-service event planning floral decor company, and a Fulfilled Wish wedding officiants, where I have a team of officiants, so we can do from concepts to completion for weddings. We do corporate as well as private parties and pretty much everything with events. Wow. So what's going on with us? Well, as a business, we were pretty much the first ones shut down, because our guest counts were 300 to 500 for an event. So we got hit pretty strong first, everybody in my industry, the floral industry, because once events are canceled, of course, you have no need for the linen companies, the caterers, and the floral. So it kind of hit everybody right off the bat. The next round was I've added spa day for my couples, and I'm working with another spa company, Ivy Glam Beauty Bar in Virginia Beach, and they got hit next. So it pretty much has just been a domino effect. What most people don't know is, somebody knows something about everything that I do or about me. I think the newest thing that most people might not know is that I just got a client from suburbia, in a city, suburbia, I can't even pronounce. And I think that's pretty cool. I do weddings in a box. That means as an eco-friendly certified green company, I do a lot of permanent botanicals and items that are repurposed, up-purposed, and able to be recycled. So weddings in a box are permanent botanicals, and they're being able to be shipped all over. I was doing that now for about 14 years, and it kind of went by the wayside in that we were doing so many national and international live things. So now weddings in a box has come back. So that's one of the things that has been implemented, because we offer it. And when you can't get fresh flowers or something specific, it helps.
That's good. So tell me a little about your family and something nobody knows about you.
Something that nobody knows. That's what I'm saying. Somebody knows probably everything about me. I think the main thing, if they don't know this, because like the latest thing that just happened, you know about, and that was the honor of giving the invocation and the benediction for the college in Hampton, and they're doing that by live remote. So I think the least amount of resistance that people wouldn't know would be that, because you're the only other person besides my husband and those that invited that would know. So that's cool. Not public knowledge, but I'm not a secretive person. I'm very open, very transparent. And so I don't really have anything I think that people don't know. They might not know that I am a master tailor, and I actually sew. And I make ministry robes and garments, and I've done that for years and years and years. What is the other thing? I started out as a licensed cosmetologist, and I have taught cosmetology school. They might not know that. So, you live long enough, you do some of everything.
And you're married. Tell us about your husband. Who's your husband and what he does?
Yeah, married for 19 years. It'll be 20 next year. Who thought anybody would endure that long, other than those that already have a lot of time in? It's the only thing I probably stuck with the longest. He's a good guy, very easygoing, laid back, mellow guy. My biggest cheerleader, my biggest advocate, and we have 3 fuzzy babies, and I have more children than little old lady in the shoe, in that clients and loved ones and professionals in my industry, they start calling me mom, which I think is fabulous and wonderful. And I try to support, mentor, and coach others in whatever endeavors they're enduring and trying to help them with.
So what's your why? Why do you do what you do?
Well, when I started because I was working for other florists and doing what I'm doing. And it was negative. Things that wouldn't go well and things that didn't go right. There was negativity. I personally was having problems that you're getting ready to design a wedding bouquet and it's going in a bride's hand, and you've been negative about it because you couldn't necessarily get the flowers to do what you wanted them to do. So for me, I wanted to try to add positivity, and it kind of found me. My company was planned for 3 years before I ever opened the door, putting in place CPAs and attorneys and licensing and research and doing absolutely everything it took to make sure that I was stable and I was going about it the right way. Now why I do it has evolved to the warm and fuzzies and the joy when you can do something nobody was expecting. When you've got a client that doesn't have necessarily a lot of income, they don't have a big budget, but we're wish masters. And I say when a fairy godmother isn't available, wish master is, and we come with an unlimited supply of wishes. You don't just get 3. So to be able to do something for them that they wouldn't expect. And that's the why now. To just take the people that maybe nobody else listens to or talks to or wants because they have a limited budget. We do the big over the top stuff too. And of course, that's the warm and fuzzies when you can pull out all the stops. But my heart really goes for the ones that are having a tough time. And they don't always have a voice because of their financial basis. And we do their weddings, and I do 3 for free every year at no cost. We research and determine somebody that may want a wedding and can't afford it. And the vendors and myself, we supply everything and do the weddings for them. It's not publicly known. That's probably the biggest secret. Because I believe what you do in secret, God will reward you for openly. And I am a believer. One of the things about my company is my entire staff is believers. We didn't start out that way. I didn't hire people because they believe. They just kind of came together, and we formed a community within the community of Hampton Roads, and have been together, most of us, for 14 plus years.
Wow, that's good. So what's your unique value proposition? What makes you different from everybody else?
I'm sorry, you broke up and I didn't get that.
Well, what do you think your unique value proposition? What makes you different from everybody else?
We're having technically difficult, and you're still breaking up, so I'm not getting a clear understanding of your question.
No, hold on. Let me get closer. So, what do you think is your unique value proposition? What makes you different from everybody else?
If I understand you correctly, you're saying what is my opposition?
No, what makes you unique? What makes you different from everybody else?
Oh, what makes me different and unique? I think because I don't pay attention to what everybody else is doing. If I have put on other companies' uniforms and marked out and worked for them. I've taken off Storybook Events uniform, and I've put on their uniform and actually worked for them for their day and helped them. What makes me unique is I believe everybody's successful. I don't think that we should be competitive, but offer completion and support to one another. And I hire other people. As a matter of fact, I have another event planner, LaWanda Tillett with Little Black Dress, event planning and concierge service. She actually has her own company, but she also is, she works with me and for me with her company for concierge services for storybooks. So it's teaming with others, regardless of titles and positions and economical base. It's just being helpful to one another.
Good. Are you still open for business?
We are, absolutely. Still working. doing it distantly, and most of it is at a level that I can handle, or a master designer that teams with me can handle, my floral designers. But right now, everything is being boxed and shipped out and sent. Our brooch bouquets and our weddings in a box and our silk botanicals and things like that. We do wedding cakes, and right now some of them are cutting back on the size of their events. And so we're doing the same thing we were going to do. We're just doing it on a smaller scale. All of my really large weddings have been rescheduled and postponed until next year for 2021. We're just calling it on pause. We've just simply hit the pause button. We're still going forth. We're still planning. And the cool part is now we can do some things that we may have not been able to have done at the time that we were going forth. So now, adding just about a year to some of the weddings, it allows for even more than what we were planning on doing in the first place.
Wow, that's pretty good. So what do you think about COVID-19? How has your business changed as a result? What are you changing as a result of COVID? And what do you think about it?
I am a face-to-face person. Everybody probably knows that it's because of me. You started a little late with the broadcast today, because anybody that knows me knows I have people on speed dial for social media support, help, and video. And one of the things that for me has gone virtual. We were heading that way with virtual meetings and appointments, because when you've got somebody across the country, you have to do Zoom or you have to do Facebook Live. You have to do something.
Yeah.
So now it's actually 100% virtual.
Yes.
I'm wondering if some of the business that we've done in the past won't be this way, even in the future, after everything has gone back to what they are referring to as normal.
That's true.
But I don't think our normal should be the normal we've already had. I'd like to see a change. I'd like more conscientious concerns about the planet and upcycling our items and taking care of things differently. It's really cool when you hear in 30 years the Himalayas for the first time are being seen, and there's no smog over LA and all of those things. So I'd like to see the sustainability of the planet maintained that's already been gone. And I'd like to see where families are having more quality time together and not having it because there was a pandemic. But the things that are the best that we as humans have, I'd like to see that continue and maintain. For me, I look at everything pretty much on an even playing field. I don't believe something should make us go over the top in our behavior and our emotions. Yes, it can be scary. And for those that are in financial straits and were before this happened, it makes it even more difficult. And wherever we were at, it shows now when something of this major portion occurs. But at the same time, I know that it'll pass. And I know that given enough time,
that's true,
we will get through this. And someone had posted, and I
agree,
it, where we're all in it together, but not at the same level. You know, different things for different people, but staying encouraging and bringing out the resilience that we as humans have and the love we have for one another, because I love seeing the acts of compassion and charity and all the heartfelt things that people are doing for somebody else.
So what type of ideal client are you looking for right now and during this COVID-19 that you can help?
Probably the one that's most fearful that they're not going to have it pull their event off, their wedding, that they're concerned that it's not going to happen, because I coach, I counsel, and I mentor. So being able to encourage them. Of course, we turn no one away and we can work with anyone for any reason. But at the same time, my ideal client is the one that wants us to do what we do for them in the way that we do it. And when too much isn't enough, we add more. So the idea of don't worry about your budget, don't worry about what it is. If you could open a catalog and order exactly what you wanted with no restrictions, I'm the person you want to talk to, because I want to bring that to you for your event.
That's true. So there's one success story that you had recently with a client. How did you help them?
Oh, gosh. there's a couple. How recent can we go? A success story would probably be the bride and the groom had deaths in the family, and they were concerned about should they cancel their wedding or should they go forth? And we went ahead and went forth and made special provision during the ceremony as well and the reception and stuff to honor those people that couldn't be with them, and brought it special to them. I think the best thing is the company did a 100% no waste wedding for a couple that had gone eco-friendly and wanted to see sustainability, and we were able to do that as well. So it's kind of whatever their needs are, we try to meet them.
Yeah, I remember I saw pictures of you on Facebook when you went to your house and you were helping somebody put a wedding like that, right? That's something you do. Somebody wants to get married in Europe, right? Something you could do.
Yes, I just got back
that was a good picture
from Europe. As a friend was saying, the ocean was lapping at my heels, the shoreline. It was interesting because I would enter a country and get past the border and they would close it in a matter of hours. I wanted to see the Louvre in France, and I saw it the day I got in, and the next day it was closed. I saw the pandemic already manifesting itself in Europe before I got back. I already had seen what was coming in a lot of ways because there were already notifications. We were already going through checkpoints and being examined and temperatures taken and all of that happening. So for me, coming back, I started prepping and preparing things that were wasteful, not necessary, or I could live without. I got rid of economically, things within my business, things that I was paying that I knew I wasn't going to need. For example, credit card services. That was one of the first things I terminated because I knew that my clients that I had already started to pay, we would find another alternative. And those that were for next year, we were going to put it off. Even though agreements said 30 days before their wedding. Well, if your wedding was scheduled for May this year, and it's not going to be till May next year, I think that payment should come 30 days before the date of the wedding. So that means next year. I'm not asking anybody to pay me now for things that have been postponed. I'm doing business like I always do. I think fair, honest, integrity, and the resilience that you talk about, that I don't count my wealth by what's in my pocket or my billfold in the bank account. I've never measured wealth by dollars. It's about relationships. And I believe not only in the profession of what we do in all walks of life, but people that we know. It's about building those connects. It's about building those relationships. Classic example is how long you and I have known each other. Today, it came up 5 years ago that you were doing the diversity things. And I'm like, oh, look at that. How that's on point. Here we go. Happy anniversary. So it's like,
that's all that.
Yeah. My attitude is don't change what you're doing. That's the best of what you're doing. It's don't panic. Don't get frightful. Don't worry. It will come. The basic things are,
that's right.
If you can live without it, don't buy it. If you can keep a roof over your head and food on the table, the rest will pass and the rest will come into place. Yes, we want our cars, we want our homes. But I think as a nation, we're such a throwaway nation. We have a lot of waste, and it's quicker sometimes and easier to go throw something away and buy new than it is to get what we've already had fixed. And a lot of things are built and designed that way too. I've learned the hard way when I had a curling iron that I'd loved for years. I mean, it's just a girl thing. It was a curling iron. I paid maybe $40 for it, but I wanted to get it fixed and it was unfixable. I had to literally throw it away. It was not designed to be repaired.
Oh, wow.
And I took it to a proper company to do it. So I noticed that's what we do. We do a lot of that. And I'd like to see that stopped and not sound like I'm on a soapbox, but it's kind of like, give it your best. Whatever you do, whatever you endeavor to do, always do your ultimate, very best. It will constantly manifest itself, and not to have a spirit of fear, but of love and a sound mind, and keep what you do that are in business practices properly done. And I have said this, and I'll say it publicly. My greatest concern is for businesses that did have financial loss, that did lose clients, that have things progressed financially for them and regressed, that when they finally open, they're going to try to compensate for what they lost and raise their prices or try to do less with more money involved. I don't want to see that happen. And the people that I know and I do business with, I know it won't happen, but I'm sure there's some corporations and some big-minded people and others that may think that way. And I'd like to see that not happen. I think those that are in the industry and the people that I know are loving and compassionate. And there's great professionals, not only in what I do, but in so many walks of life. So I'd like to see that happen, that they maintain and they're stable.
All right. So I agree. So let me ask you, why share with us why this video is important to you, and what do you want people to remember?
The video was important to me because I had hoped to help support your endeavors in what you do, to let people know how good you are at what you do. You're on my speed dial for so many things that come up, and you've become a great friend. What do I want people to know? That I'm like-minded like so many others. We're all human. We all have the same hopes, desires, and wishes. And the biggest factor is not to panic. And when it looks like it's over, hold steadfast and unmovable and stand and keep wearing your mask, keep protecting yourselves, because I think in some areas they're going to release it too soon. And I'm concerned that it'll bite us again and it'll come back. I'd rather take time. And this happened when I had surgery. I had back surgery years ago. And I asked the doctor, how long is it going to take me to really heal? He said, you should lay 45 days on your back, literally, to heal. Well, 45 days was a long time for me because I was much younger. But I did what he told me to do. Yeah. And I spent 45 days. When I got up, I actually was able to move and walk and go back to life as an active person. And I've always maintained, take as long as it takes to get it right, because once it's right, you don't have to redo it.
All right, so I'll pull up your, I got your webpage up here really quickly. So Ivory, this is where we can connect with you. This is your webpage, Storybook Events, right there. So right there. Okay. And then we're going to go down. And so we're going to really go over. If you want to connect with Ivory, especially if you're looking for wedding planning, luxury theme events, corporate events, just want to have somebody to brainstorm, you can connect with her, Ivory at storybookevents.net, and 757-625-4321. And the reason I chose Ivory and I have known each other for 5+ years, very good at what she does, very good at coaching clients to get what they want, but being realistic, and really does care. And I think today in our environment, we need to hear how people are working, how people are giving, how people are contributing, how people have adapted and changed their business. So my recommendation is, if you're thinking about getting married or your wedding got pushed back, reach out to Ivory, because she's going to assist you. Because today we need doing business, and we need doing business with people we know, and we look for people who are light, who are out there still working, still connected, still positive, who can give you that positive energy and make you feel good. It's okay, despite what's going on, that you can still do business. Because I was telling someone, I'm still doing the business and I'm doing these videos because we need to see how people are being resilient in today's economy and our local community. Because if you look at Facebook or social media, it's negative. No one knows who to trust, but at least you can have people like Ivory talk about her, what she's doing, how she's contributing to the local economy, how she's helping people. That's what people need to hear. So again, if you want to connect with her about weddings, and she's really phenomenal what she does. I mean, I saw pictures of her on Facebook in Europe and doing the wedding. She is like one of the top people in the area and in the US. So if you just want to brainstorm to her, you can reach out to her, and it's going to be phenomenal, because we need to have people like her connected with people. Am I right, Ivory?
I do my best. My motto is, if I can't help you, I'll do my best to hurt you. I believe in being a role model and a mentor. And there's a lot of other event planners that we coach and counsel and work with and try to help. Everybody should be successful with whatever endeavors they undertake.
No, I agree. All right. So I'm going to wave, say bye to social media.
Thanks.
And then I will let everyone know I have a next one coming up. And again, thanks, Ivory. And I'm going to go ahead and clock us out of the broadcast.